How are you everyone, and welcome back to the lesson. The subject is auditing and assurance. We are still covering the topic forensic accounting. During our last lesson, we defined forensic accounting. Then we outlined the primary objectives of forensic accounting. Then we distinguished between forensic accounting and statutory audit. All right, forensic audit and statutory audit, we made 5 distinctions between the two. Today we are going to study some key points regarding rules of evidence. Rules of evidence in court proceedings. Rules of evidence in court proceedings. We say that the one purpose of carrying out forensic accounting is to gather evidence that can be used in court proceedings as far as financial crimes are concerned. Now, the rules of evidence in court proceedings vary depending on the jurisdiction and the legal system in which the court operates. But there are some general principles and common rules that are followed in many legal systems. So we're going to discuss a few points. One is on relevance. Relevance. Now, here, evidence must be relevant to the case at hand. It should have a logical connection to the facts in dispute and must be useful in proving or disapproving a fact. That's the first point you can say about rules of evidence in court proceedings as far as forensic accounting is concerned. Relevance. Evidence must be relevant to the case at hand. The second point is admissibility. Admissibility. Now, candidates, not all evidence is automatically admissible in court. There are various rules that determine whether evidence can be presented to the court. And common grounds for excluding evidence include heresy, which means an out-of-court statement offered to prove the truth. So heresy is not admissible. You understand? Admissibility. Not all facts can be admitted in court proceedings. Okay? There could also be burden of proof. Burden of proof. Number 3. Burden of proof. Burden of proof. The burden of proof rests with the party asserting a claim or seeking to prove a fact. So the standard of proof varies depending on the type of case, ranging from beyond reasonable doubt, which applies in criminal cases, to preponderance of evidence, which applies in case of civil cases. 4. Competence and credibility. Now here, candidates, witnesses must be competent to testify, meaning that they must have the ability to understand and answer questions. And their credibility may also be challenged through a cross-examination or by presenting contradictory evidence. 5. Heresy. 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 Okay? Heresy. Is it the right spelling? Should be heresy. 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 Now here, heresy, candidates, refers to an out of court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted. And in general, heresy is not admissible as evidence unless it falls within recognized exception, such as statement made by a party opponent or a dying declaration or a statement against interest. Heresy. Then number 6, authentication. Authentication. Evidence must be properly authenticated to establish its relevance, to establish its reliability. And this involves providing sufficient evidence to show that the item or testimony is what it purports to be. Authentication. From the word authenticity. Authenticity. 7, expert testimony. Expert testimony. Now, expert witnesses may be called to provide specialized knowledge or opinions or interpretations in areas beyond the understanding of the average person. So the admissibility of expert testimony is subject to specific criteria, including the expert's qualifications and the reliability of their methods. You understand? So these are some of the points in relation to rules of evidence in court proceedings as far as forensic accounting is concerned. And candidates, it's important to know that these points provide a general overview of the rules of evidence and may vary in different jurisdictions. It's also advisable to consult the specific laws and regulations of different or relevant jurisdictions for a comprehensive understanding of the rules of evidence in court proceedings. So when submitting evidence in court proceedings from forensic audits, these are some of the matters that should be considered: relevance, admissibility, burden of proof, competence and credibility, heresy, authentication, and expert opinion. Expert opinion. So, for example, expert opinion, if the auditor is highly qualified, then the evidence that is adduced in court by such an auditor will be highly credible. Thank you for attending our today's lesson. We continue to learn more about forensic auditing in our subsequent lessons. Bye-bye.